Hello children, welcome to Standard 9 icse biology classes. In the last class, under the chapter tissues, we have discussed about plant tissues. Today, we'll discuss about animal tissues. The four main types of animal tissues are 1. Epithelial tissue, 2. Connective tissue, 3. Muscle tissue, and 4. Nervous tissue or neural tissue. Let's begin with the first type of tissue, that is the epithelial tissue. It is a thin protective continuous sheath of cells. Now let's see where it is found in our body. It covers the surface of the body and lines the various body cavities and internal organs including the blood vessels. Examples are the outermost layer of skin and the lining of the surface of mouth, nose, lungs, stomach, etc. The epithelial cells may be variously shaped. They may be flat, cuboidal, columnar, etc. The functions of epithelial tissues include protection, absorption, secretion, sensory perception, etc. There are 5 structurally distinct categories of epithelial tissue. They are squamous epithelium, stratified epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, columnar epithelium, and ciliated columnar epithelium. Let's study about each in detail. We begin with the first one, the squamous epithelium. It is composed of cells which are thin plates of irregular shapes. Examples are cells in the outer layer of the skin, in the inner lining of mouth and nasal cavities. The squamous epithelium protects the underlying parts from mechanical injury, germs, harmful chemicals, and drying up. The stratified epithelium is composed of several layers or strata of the same or different kinds of epithelial cells. Is found in the skin and the cornea. The cuboidal epithelium is made up of cubical cells. The cuboidal epithelium is found in some parts of kidney tubules and in some glandular ducts such as those of salivary glands. The columnar epithelium contains vertically arranged cylindrical or brick-like cells. These cells are usually tall in size. Columnar epithelium is generally found in the inner lining of stomach and intestines. The cells of ciliated epithelium have thread-like protoplasmic projections called the cilia at their free end. The cilia constantly keep slashing and move the materials which enter these regions. They are found at some places in the body, such as in the lining of the trachea. There is another kind of epithelium called the glandular epithelium. It is also a kind of columnar epithelium which contains some large cells which secrete certain chemical substances. Such cells are common in the inner lining of stomach and the intestine. At certain places in the body, the glandular epithelium is folded inward to form compact hollow or tubular glands. For example, the sweat glands, tear glands, or the liver. The second type of animal tissue is the connective tissue. The connective tissue binds one tissue with another and also connects various organs, keeping them in proper place. It has 3 characteristics. They are abundance of intercellular substances, that is the matrix, few cellular elements, and fibers. The connective tissue is classified as 1. Connective tissue proper, which serves for packing and binding the organs. 2. Supportive connective tissue which gives support, includes the cartilage and the bones. And the third one, fluid connective tissue which includes blood and lymph. Let's begin with the connective tissue proper. Its 3 subcategories are 1. Areolar or the packing tissue. It is most widely spread, occurring beneath the epidermis of the skin. It makes the skin elastic and helps to withstand pulling strain. Second one, adipose or fat tissue. It has specialized cells which stores fat. This tissue forms padding under the skin and around the kidneys, eyeballs, etc. Padding under the skin acts as an insulation for retaining the body heat. And the third type, the fibrous connective tissue. It is mainly formed of fiber forming cells which forms tendons. Tendons connect muscle to bone and also forms ligaments which connect bone to bone. The supportive connective tissue includes the first one, cartilage. It is a non-porous tissue. It has a thickened intercellular substance called the matrix. It has no blood vessels or nerves. Cartilage is semi-transparent and elastic. Cartilages are found in the nose, ears, rings of trachea and bronchial tubes, between the vertebrae and also the end of long bones. The second one is bone. Bone is a hard porous tissue and it has a good supply of blood vessels and nerves. It contains both living and a rigid mass of inorganic salts. The fluid connective tissue includes the blood. Blood is composed of both cellular and liquid parts. The liquid part of blood is the plasma and the cellular part includes the RBC, WBC and the platelets. The second type of fluid connective tissue is lymph. It is essentially the blood plasma that has oozed out of the blood vessels. It contains white blood cells and not the red blood cells. Both the blood and lymph are mainly concerned with transportation and also with immunity. The muscle tissue forms the muscles of the body. The muscles contract and relax. Thus, they help the body in its movements. There are three types of muscle tissue. They are the first one, the striated muscle, which is also called the skeletal, striped or the voluntary muscle. The second one is the unstriated muscle, which is also called the smooth, unstriped or the involuntary muscle. And the third type of muscle is the heart or the cardiac muscle, which is found only in the heart. The first one is the striated muscle. They are under the control or the will of an individual. The muscles in your arms and legs are examples of striated muscles because we can move them when we need it. The common places to find such muscles are the arms, the legs, the body wall, face, neck, diaphragm, etc. Whereas the unstriated muscles are not under the direct control of one's will. Movements of passage of food in the intestine are caused by the contraction of the unstriated muscle of the intestinal wall. Such muscles are composed of slender, tapering cells. Examples: muscles of the iris of the eye, those in the skin, muscles found in the lining of the blood vessel, the urinary bladder, and the uterus. The cardiac muscles are involuntary and are found only in the heart. The cells here are striated and comparatively short. Unlike the other muscles, cardiac muscles are branched. They can contract without outside stimulation and do not get tired soon. The fourth type of animal tissue is the neural tissue or the nervous tissue, which constitutes the nervous system. This tissue is made up of elongated cells called neurons. Each nerve cell consists of three main parts. They are the cell body or the cyton or the perikaryon containing the nucleus. One or more elongated hair-like extensions which are called the dendrons, which later divide to form dendrites. One of these become long and they are called axon, and it may be as much as 1 meter long or even 3 meters long. Axons bundle together to form a nerve. This tissue is concerned with perception and responses of animals. With this, we come to an end of today's session. Now, it's time for home assignment. Thank you.